It was one of those country mornings when George would have slept late if a strange sound didn't wake him up. On a windy day, the country house windows were almost musical. As good as the wind sounded, it felt even better. Smelled good, too. There had to be lots of things a clever monkey could fly out his window, like heavy winter socks, birds he drew, his lucky brick. And there was even better stuff downstairs.
What's the excitement, George? Yeah, it's a great day to play in the wind. I'll get the door for you. George, if you're wondering how a big yellow hat would fly, you know the rule, buddy. No one is allowed to play with the yellow hat. Have fun. Clean up after yourself, and don't blow away.
George couldn't decide what he'd fly first. And then he didn't have to. Jumpy Squirrel tries hard to spend all his time in trees, leaping about. But when it's time to eat, he has to go where the nuts are buried.
Hey, George! Perfect kite flying weather, huh? Oh, careful. I'll lose control. Flying a kite's all about control. Oh, this is a lazy Susan.
He didn't know what a kite was when he woke up that morning. But there was nothing in the world George wanted more than to fly a kite.
Sorry, I can't turn over control to an inexperienced city kid. This isn't as easy as I make it look. I studied the Beaufort wind scale for 3 years. I never make mistakes. Rats! That's never coming down. Oh, for a city kid, you sure can climb a tree. Not a scratch. Thanks, George. As a reward, I'll let you fly her.
Bill! Billy!
Coming! I promised I'd help Mom gut a pumpkin. I won't be long. You watch the kite till I get back.
George figured he could watch the kite even better while it flew.
Hey, George! Lose your kite? I don't think I can reach it. Oh, careful there, fella. Don't fall. Gotcha. Now, if you don't want to lose hold of that, tie it around something.
George was really flying that kite now. Or maybe it was flying him.
You get it okay? Left without saying goodbye. City folk.
Over the years, I've seen everything in the waters around here. Seen trout, salmon, haddock.
Did you see that flying monkey?
Seen flying monkeys, striped bass, blowfish.
George was flying with birds. It was a monkey's best dream come true. Now that he'd lived his dream, his arm was getting sore and he wanted to go home. But he had no idea how to do that.
George? Oh, I could have swore this was where I left that kid with my kite. George, where are ya? He couldn't wait. Boy, for a city kid who never flew a kite before, got her up higher than I ever did. Whoa!
Well, hi, Bill.
You own binoculars?
Sure do.
What's trailing behind that kite?
Oh, it's George. It's George! And he's got a squirrel on his head. Bill, you call the fire department.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. They seem to know how to do everything.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going up there after him.
The world below looked beautiful and unfamiliar. George wasn't even sure which way was home anymore. Oh, and the squirrel in his head was hungry. Flying was the best and the worst thing that had happened to him all day.
George! George!
It was his friend, the man with the yellow hang glider.
George, I need you to reach out and take my hand with a hand, foot, whatever. All right, guys, hang on tight. We're going home.
George would never forget the day he was almost a bird. And he added almost being a bird to the list of things squirrels don't like.
You're a natural kite flyer, kid.
Good work. Lunch is ready. Here's some lunch for you too, Jumpy.
It's time to bring her in, George!
It was a special day for George. A visit to the museum. But first, a stop at Piscatty's for a sweet Sunday treat.
George, they're not going anywhere.
Cannoli, a brown, crunchy shell with a delicious filling.
See? 2, just for us. Hey, gnocchi. You have your own house now?
Someone's looking for cannoli. The last 2 got taken.
I'm sorry. I don't make any new cannoli today. I'm too upset.
What's going on?
Mio caro gnocchi. She has been sneaking into the main room and scratching up at the seats. It's a disaster. You see? Look what she has done. Can you believe a little gatto, a sweet little kitty, could do such damage? I must ban gnocchi from the restaurant.
Oh, well, we saw the house you built her. It's very nice.
Grazie. I plan to add a second story, eh? Oh, that is gnocchi. She wants to come in. Oh, I feel terrible.
She only wants to come in because you say she cannot. Oh, typical cat. This kitchen is in torment. I suspect there will be no cannoli until this problem is solved. Eh? Back outside.
Oh, don't worry, George. I'm sure they'll solve the problem.
At the museum, George was too distracted to concentrate.
Professor Wiseman.
Hey guys, welcome to my new exhibit. It's called How Great Scientists Got Their Great Ideas. These are portraits of some great scientists. Isaac Newton, Benjamin Franklin, Marie Curie.
And Albert Einstein.
Once you think like a scientist, George, you can solve almost any problem.
George had a problem. He wanted cannoli.
You know, scientists think about problems and get ideas to solve them. They observe, then collect information. And if that information doesn't help solve their problem, they observe more and get a different idea. Oh dear, excuse me. Young man, get down from there.
George wondered what great scientists would do if they were monkeys who had no cannoli because Gnocchi had scratched the booths.
I say, do we know for certain that she did it like the chef believes?
You must think about what you observed.
George did see Gnocchi scratch the door, but could she have scratched the booth too?
What you observed does not support the chef's idea about Gnocchi making the scratches.
If George could prove Gnocchi was innocent, Chef Pischetti would be happy, and George would have cannoli.
Oh, I love cannoli!
George had to observe more. Gnocchi was thrilled to be back in the restaurant. Now she could go back to her old routine. George needed something to draw on.
Waiter, could we get some garlic bread?
George needed to measure both sets of marks.
I guess he doesn't want us filling up before the meal.
To measure the marks on the door, George needed something longer.
I think he's a restaurant critic. He's taking samples of the pasta.
The scratches had depth, too. How could George measure that?
Where's that side of ravioli?
But I just cooked it.
Waiter, could we get some water?
Now he's reviewing the ravioli.
He seems to like it better than the spaghetti. That he just dragged along the floor.
The scratches on the booth were shorter than those on the door, and they were a lot deeper, too. George proved the scratches were different. Gnocchi was innocent. But then, who was making the scratches? George couldn't leave this problem unsolved. He had to find out what was making those scratches. There was no evidence of a bear or dinosaur break-in.
Where is our garlic bread?
We ordered it quite some time ago. I think your waiter is quite lazy.
Oh, I am so sorry. Mi scusi. I will get it now. Oh, he's not the waiter. He's reviewing the restaurant for the newspaper.
Don't be silly.
Well, it's true. He really likes the ravioli.
This scratch hadn't been there earlier. It was brand new.
This is the most thorough reviewer I have ever seen.
Well, that's not a restaurant critic or a waiter. It's a monkey.
A great scientist wouldn't let a problem get the best of him. George had to calm down and use his head.
Giorgio, what are you doing in here?
They know him. He's not a monkey.
That guy was so wrong.
George showed them what he had discovered.
Oh, Giorgio, oh, I love this kid. You are proving gnocchi is innocent. I'm so happy. I'm gonna make 2 trays of cannoli. Exactly. Cannoli for everyone on the house.
Making enough cannoli for everyone was exhausting, because though George thought like a scientist, he ate like a monkey.